Let's start the show.
Let's do it. Hey, you know what I think we should have music. Introductory music.
Yeah?
Yes.
I have a sound pad on here, so you can do sound pad and like
I'm thinking like
and
a
laughter.
beatbox. Yeah, like we do. Okay, you know what? I think
so we can
in the
load
future,
it up. Yeah.
I would like to be in charge of the laugh button.
Okay.
Can we also have a remove man card button for like when we have guests? I think if we have guests on the show, that one of the prime things that we should do, one of the incentives, is to put them in a place through shame and embarrassment where we get to remove their man card on the show. And then this way they'll have to work real hard to get it back, and we can have them do something that we need done.
I think I know the exact guest that you're talking about.
I think you might be. Well, also, so if we're thinking of the same, potential guest, he has removed my man card many a time in the past, so we're not even yet.
But don't you have to be a man to remove somebody's man card?
Exactly.
No,
See, we're getting there. We're getting there. But I think, however, since you and I do the podcast most of the time, we're going to have some type of truce and plan of attack. So it's kind of like me and you versus whoever comes into this bubble.
Good cop, bad cop. Kind of,
yes,
right?
like you can pretend to be like on their side and then rip the rug out from underneath them.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. We had a great workout today, man.
We did.
What was that crazy workout you showed me? That
Copenhagen
you're like, you're not going to like it, and then you didn't want to do it the second time. And I was like, I definitely don't want to do it now.
Yeah, Copenhagen planks.
They were
nuts.
good, man. And the room's looking like you got like the soundproofing here now. And,
a little bit. Yeah, getting there.
And we were actually talking about this before the show. I'm starting to feel bad because you're doing all this work and I pretty much come over, exercise with your equipment, drink your coffee, then talking to your mic and leave. I got to contribute a little more to the show, I think.
Yeah, now we have video.
We do have video now, yup.
We can start doing YouTube shorts.
I'm going to get us some t-shirts made.
No.
Yes. We can wear our own podcast t-shirts while we're on camera now.
I think that's going a little above.
Do you think so? Oh, we'll see.
So I wanted to show you the Tom Segura bit about
okay.
Give me a minute. Let me grab the iPad here.
Yeah, grab the iPad. It is going to be probably one of my favorites. I've seen a few bits from him.
Dude, it's hilarious.
And these are some of the things that just come up in the course of our workout session.
Okay. I want to blow somebody in the Wu-Tang. Now, I immediately think, what would my mom say? And I tell myself, don't be like mom. This is this girl's dream. So I look her dead in her eyes, and I go, you should try. There's a bunch of them. That's what I say. Now, 3 months later, she got on their tour bus, and she told them, and guess what? They all accepted. If you are not familiar, there are 9 guys in the Wu-Tang Clan. 9. So many guys. That's so many. Can we park for a moment at how many dicks 9 is? I don't even understand how anyone's sitting in their seat right now. There's people out here like, what else you got? Are you shitting me? That's not a lot. Close your eyes and picture 9 dicks. You're like, oh my God, they're everywhere. Yeah, because there's 9 of them. I'm not slut shaming. I'm saying objectively, 9 is a lot of anything. Like if I was like, I had cinnamon rolls today, and you're like, how many did you have? I had 9. You mean take you to the emergency room, or You're going to lose a foot by the morning. We should go. 9 dicks? Are you fucking shitting me? Some of you, it took you 15 years to get to 9 dicks. This was a Thursday for this young lady. Try to imagine the physical labor involved with blowing 9 probably not small dicks. If you're not aware, the Wu-Tang fellas don't look like me, all right? That is some CrossFit shit at that level. If you think burpees are rough, try. Am I doing good? Do you like me now?
Oh, man.
Like, after how many do you think she was like, let's take a little break for a second?
Let's take a little break.
What the fuck am I doing? Why are they so mean about it? How many is that? 4. Am I done? And they're like, no, you're not done. You got RZA, Ray, Ghost, Meth. No, you're not done. She's like, but my neck hurts. And they're like, you gotta protect your neck. Don't you listen to me?
That is such a good punchline.
That's a great punchline.
That is such a good punchline.
Yes. Yes.
Move the mic
That
a little
is
bit
a
below so it
top
doesn't
shelf
block your
Wu-Tang
face.
blowjob
Yeah.
dope. Now, I asked her one time, I
that
was
is
like,
such
if you
a
could
good
go back to that
punchline.
day
Protect
and
your
do
neck.
anything differently.
He's funny. I saw him pop up on my feed
So-
not too long ago. He's really funny comedian.
Tom Segura is hilarious.
Yeah, but protect your neck like that. That's one of my favorite songs. That's just generally good advice in the many scenarios, as he points out.
Yeah.
Even one I never thought of.
In Jiu-Jitsu, they have a shirt, a gi that's a Wu-Tang gi, and it says "Protect your neck." It's hilarious. Only I get that for my kid.
Yeah, so that's why I like having that on on the folder that my car insurance is in. I remember to pay it.
So, how do you like the coffee?
The coffee is wonderful, man. There's all kinds of good stuff. I come over here, I get exercise, I get delicious coffee and espresso all the time. We have good conversation, we have podcasts. It's just always good, man.
There's always a good time here.
Yeah.
That's why I like. We haven't even been to the beach this year.
We have not.
Like
we know
did
someone
not,
who goes all the time.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, like I love just hanging out here.
Yeah.
That I even bringing it up, like, let's go to the beach is like drive 2 hours, be with a lot of people, to be in sticky water, and then feel like
Sticky
crap
water.
afterwards. So, no thanks.
Yeah, I haven't really. I was down there once just for like day trip, but
Yeah, same.
it is sticky.
We went there for my kids' competition at Wildwood, and we didn't even go into the beach. We're like, okay, competition's over, let's go home. The water's right there, but nah.
I like to enjoy the beach and the ocean from afar. I don't like the sand. First off, here's my take on it. You can only go really in the summer. I mean, you can go in the winter too, but it's colder, right? So you don't really feel like it. But in the summer, it's 90-some degrees. The sun has been beating on the sand, turning it basically into hot coals. So you're going to walk, especially in Wildwood where the beach is long, you're going to walk across hot coals for at least 10 minutes to get to the sticky salt water that you always believe someone just peed in. so why that's why it's not a great idea. I'm still going to sit on that beach and read.
And I heard
Not.
whales come 5 gallons. So it's just
What? No, I
Ocean-
definitely am never going to the beach.
ocean is just full of cum.
That's why it's
Whale
sticky.
cum. That's why it's sticky.
Freaking sticky. I was like, oh, that's why they're called sperm whales, right? Oh, damn.
Now we know.
What a whole new perspective on the ocean for me. You know, and before it started out for me where I didn't like the sand crabs that would grab my toes. I would always be like, they're coming for me specifically. Now I have a much bigger thing to worry
I always
about.
joke with my wife, and I was like, like I like the beach except for the sand, the water, and the sun. Which is basically the beach. Right? I don't like it. I don't like it. We used to like go and I would bring like one of those like half tent kind of things that you set up and just like try to like not get any sand in there and just sit in there.
So you like, hold on, let me build this little house
Yeah,
for myself
let me
real
build
quick.
this house.
As a clean room.
Yeah.
And I'll enjoy it from the window.
You go. Like,
go out there. Go ahead. Go
and my wife would like try to sunbathe, and then when we had kids, it was just like, okay, like we gotta go out there because the kids want to be in the water.
Yeah.
And it's like we gotta go out there and be. It's like you can't just sit in your house there. Like, you gotta do something.
So wave and shout encouragements.
Yeah.
From the safety of my clean home.
Yep.
And that I made on top of this beach.
Yep. That's it. I'm not doing that. Like
Not walking on the boardwalk. I'm all for it. Ride some rides. But like as far as I kind of go is where I sit on the bench that looks out at the beach, which is contrary to the way I used to be as a kid growing up. I used to surf. I used to go down every weekend and surf. But that's different, right? Like I pretty much park real early in the morning, grab the surfboard with bare feet and swimming trunks on, and go from the beach to the water and then right back to the car. Right? There wasn't any like, enjoying the blistering nature of the hot coals on my feet.
That's even for us. Like we go now, and it's basically sit on the beach for maybe an hour or two. Enjoy the water as much as you can enjoy it for the kids mostly, and then come home. Like it's not a full day event for us. So one time we told our friends like, oh, we're going to go to the beach, and they're like, yeah, great, we'll join you. And we went there, set up, hour or two, and they're like, all right, let's go home. And
I'm out
like,
of here.
What?
Yeah.
It's like, you're not gonna spend like the whole day? No. But we just drove all this way, and you're just gonna drive? No, we're out of here. That's the way we do beach.
Man,
and that's something that we learned. Like, okay, like we're gonna do our thing. If people want to join us, they'll join us,
right?
And they'll do what we want to do. Like, because I'm tired of planning and trying to get everybody to be happy, because that's never gonna happen. So I'm gonna do what I'm happy with, and if somebody wants to join, I am more than happy to have them here, whether it be a workout, whether it be a vacation, whether it be a trip to the beach. This is what we're doing. This is our itinerary. That's how we're doing it. You want to join? More than happy to have you here. But I'm very, very selfish in that matter, because I am done trying to plan for everybody's liking.
Yeah,
it's always something.
That's crazy, and that's why you'll always get a stoic yes or no from me. Yeah. Right? Like you'll be like, "Hey, do you want to go and do this?" I'm like, "Not really. No, thank you. Maybe next time."
The workout that I had planned for today for you was going down to Philly, picking up a 700-pound safe, and bringing it back and lifting it to the second floor of my house.
So you framed that request incorrectly as a text message to me. So we had our friend in the Piero was in that chat, and you were like, "Hey, like you were like putting a feeler out there." If at any point in time, and you know me now, at any point in time you put a feeler out there, you are asking for me to say no to it. If you were like, "Raj, you're a big dude, you're reliable, I need your help lifting this 700-pound thing," I'd be like, "Dude, we're going to get a 5-hour energy, an espresso, and we're going to kick that safe's ass." I'd be all in, right? That's how you have to
You were
ask,
just
though.
like, no. I'd rather run on the beach. That's what you said.
I did say that, but in my mind, I was like, there's probably someone else he has in mind. You got to be like, there's no one else, Raj. I need you to help me pick up this heavy safe.
No, in all seriousness, there's this free 700-pound safe. Or I don't know how.
What treasures are you going to put into this safe?
I have guns.
Okay, all right. So like,
and it's a bigger safe than what I have
so
now.
I'm assuming, by the way you just gestured, they're in the unlocked closet in front of us.
That closet is locked.
That's locked. Okay. So it's not a safe, by the way. That's a closet. They're hollow doors.
They're safe up behind it.
So they're in a safe. What do you want a new safe for? And why do you want a
for the most part
£700 safe?
Not everything is in the safe.
Why don't you just come up with an ingenious way to dissuade anyone who wants to go into that closet? I can think of a couple. Right? First off, you know the little shrunken voodoo heads? Hang them up there. Immediately, 50% of the people will be afraid to go near those things. Like, what's he into? What's behind that door? Right? How do you do that? Also, too, man, just put petroleum jelly around the doorknob and have an easier way to open it. So as soon as someone touches that door, they're like, ew. Right? Which leads me back to the other thought I have. See, now you stuck the whole sperm whale ocean thing in my mind, right? Now I'm thinking of all the times that I made the water fountain and sprayed, pushed the water out of my mouth, and I was like gargling with it. I'm like, no, spray it, yeah, gargling mayonnaise, basically. Oh man,
Going back, your wife is like, you got a little something here.
I was like, that white foam that comes in with the waves.
There you go, man.
It's just mixed up with salt water.
There you go. That's it.
And always like, oh, it's so good for your skin. Well, and I'm gonna look bad.
Yeah. All those people trying to save the whales. Here, they're just trying to put more cum into the ocean.
That's why I just don't. They always mess with the sharks, right? That's the I was reading not only here's yet another reason not to go to the beach. Yeah. So not only do I not want to swim in the sperm from the blue whales, the nasty foamy water, and the hot coals that are on the beach, and getting the sand in my eyes and everywhere else. But also, now that everyone fishes the sharks out, the flesh-eating algae watches up on the shore now, because the sharks that eat the fish and the fish that eat the fish that eat that algae are just off the rails, right?
Yeah.
There's not enough of them to eat the bad algae.
Yeah.
So now if I go to the beach, I believe that once I get the flesh-eating bacteria onto my skin, and I have to go to the doctor now to fix that, then I'm going to walk across the hot coals, which is sand. Then I'm going to go swim in the sperm-filled ocean now? No! Never again.
I'm so happy to be the one.
Ruin the ocean
for you.
Yes, it's completely over now for me. I would rather try and open your petroleum jelly-filled safe lock with your guns than go in the ocean.
Oh my god. No, man. Yeah, I need a bigger safe. They're definitely overflowing.
What do you need so many for?
Why not?
I'm just saying. I'm asking a question. Is it a collectible thing?
It's just fun.
Because I got a lot of comics. They're fun.
Yeah, exactly. It's like comics. They're fun.
I had a lot of comics, but yeah, I like shooting the guns. I was never into getting them. Because then I'm the thing, I gotta get to the safe, and then I have to have the door, and it has to be locked, and and also too, I don't know, I get myself into trouble quite easily with destructive things that I was just thinking the way when we went axe throwing.
Yeah.
There was no good form for me doing that. That was be a Viking. Throw the axe in every which way. Can I throw it between my legs? Bad idea. Yeah, exactly. Take the axes away from him. I was just thinking with guns, I'd want a 6-shooter. I'd want a cowboy outfit. And I would want to shoot from the hip only.
See, that's the problem. You want to take one thing and take it over the edge on that one thing.
What other way is there to do
it? When you're talking about the podcast and what we're gonna do and all this stuff, you're like, I'm gonna get a shirt. I'm gonna get. It's first let me edit this. There's a lot that goes into it, and it's let's take it one at a time.
Right,
first episode is gonna suck. Second episode is gonna suck, and it just keeps going like that until we get better at this.
Yeah, we need 100 to be good at it.
Yeah. So it's there's no goal 100. That's one thing I learned, at least that I feel like I learned. Don't overdo it. Because I am totally on your camp here. When I got into something, that's all I want to do nonstop until I burn out. And that's something that when I was doing cycling or running. You know, it's like, I'm going to train for an ultra. I'm going to train for like 50 miler. You know, like, you know, like, and then, you know, then I got to like 10 miler and all this stuff. And then it's like, okay, that's it, I'm done.
So you could be the voice of reason then, because I'm ready to take us on the road.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like when I was doing the cycling,
Yeah.
like, let's do 100 milers. And I would do that.
Good.
I'm good. I was good. But then, like, that's the thing. I burn out because that's all I want to do.
Yeah.
And nothing else. So it's usually like a thing with me where I get into something, go 100%, burn out, then dial it back to a more reasonable thing. Same thing with chess.
Yeah.
Same thing
with
with jiu-jitsu. You know, it's like everything in my life, I go 100%, then I dial it back. So now I'm trying this whole thing out where I try to get into something and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this in a reasonable time that is good for me. That is not going to take over my life.
You're learning the meaning of the word routine, which I never knew. Either. I railed against routine, but I started like building a small routine, and now I have one. Right? Yeah. So like I wake up same time every day. I don't try and push it earlier because I did try and go early, but it doesn't fit my schedule. So
yeah,
I wake up. There's a routine of things that happen before I even get to start my day.
Yeah.
No matter what day it is, right? But those things always happen. Then like on weekends and things, like there's time that I have built like this morning. I had a half hour to 1 hour where I have to read something I want to read. So I finished like 1.5 chapters of the book. That was done for the day.
Yeah.
Right? Then workout was on my list. Now that's coming. The podcast on my list. That gets checked off.
Yeah.
And there's a couple other things on my list that are going to happen today, but they're varied. Now, once I accomplish those things, right, two things happen. If the list gets done, now I feel good, right? And I'm not like a monster the rest of the day, thinking about what else I have to do. So it serves a purpose. It serves a purpose of making me feel better about getting all the things that I need to do. And it stops me from being a maniac and doing one thing only. Mm-hmm. Like, I wish I could get into cutting the grass like that, but I never will.
I like cutting the grass.
We differ. Grass should be replaced by wood chips everywhere. And it should just be a forest floor.
Yeah.
The only thing I use my grass for is compost when I need it.
I don't know. I agree with you there. There's like, I don't like, how can I put this? I don't like having, so much space that that it's just grass. Mm-hmm. Which here it's like we have the front yard. There's parts of it that I am not a fan of, right? Like where the beds in the middle of the front yard are, where I have to cut going one way so it doesn't throw it all into the mulch, and then I have weeds growing, and all this stuff. So that drives me crazy. But I like the process of like getting out there, cutting the grass, and just being zen about going back and forth. This like get the line. Go back and forth. Get the line. Go back and forth. There's a little bit of that. Plus, I'll listen to a podcast while doing that. And I'm sitting down. You're walking.
It's true. It's true.
That's a huge.
You do have kind of like the 0-point turn tank driver, which is a lot of fun. Because then I could have like a flag on the back of that. Like if I have what you have.
See, there you go, going 100 again,
right,
doing everything that you don't need to do.
So as soon as I saw your 0-point turn mower, right,
yeah,
with the two handles and you drive it like a tank,
yeah,
I immediately thought I'm going to put 2 American flags off the back of that, paint an eagle with claws on top, and just have exactly like, have a megaphone and just say America as I rolled around my yard for all the neighbors to behold. Right? And then I could switch that up, like I can get behind mowing grass like that. But just going back and forth, like you're talking about the zen of the line, I miss spots. I don't even care. I'm like, grass. It's going to grow again anyway. I don't care.
There is definitely a zen thing about cutting the grass, but I like I said, I like it.
You want to come cut my grass?
No.
I like it so much.
My grass. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, there's other things that I like the process of like doing some things but not finishing it, and that's a big problem for me. So like, if I need to cut the hedges and trim and do all that stuff, I'm fine with doing all that, but then I have to clean up.
Yeah,
That's a
fun.
pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things in my life that I need to improve, and that's one of them. Like just getting something, finishing it right away, and be diligent about it, because there's some things in my life that I'm just like whether it be picking the weeds off the mulch and all that stuff. It's like I'll go out there, do that, and then be like, oh, I'm so lazy about it. I'll just go dip in the pool for a little bit, and then I'll come back. And then I never come back to it.
The mower's parked out front on the grass.
No.
And you're floating in the pool?
The mowing thing, like, I'll finish it. The weed whacker, the blowing out, like, that's all good. But then as soon as I park the mower, I do everything,
I hear
stuff,
you.
and I have to do that extra step to really make it great.
That's where I got the vegetable garden. Usually comes after the mowing, and I usually do it kind of half as well as I usually would, but like I have to plant a bunch of seeds like today or tomorrow. They have to get started, so I have broccoli and all that stuff, right? So like that has to happen, but it's real simple. I have the only thing I did was I set myself up really nicely to be able to do this quickly, all of it quickly. If it takes a lot of energy, it's not worth it. Right, because veggies aren't that expensive, right? So like, it has to be worth my time to do it. So like, that's what I have. Everything's like at arm's reach, including the mower and the trimmer and all that stuff. Make it very easy. I don't bag any grass at all. I will never do that.
I don't do that.
Ever. I only pick it up if I need compost in my compost pile. If I need greens, then I'll pick it up and dump it.
I have the bagger, but I use it for the leaves.
Leaves, yes. And even those get composted into a pile. I don't even put them in a bag.
I gotta start that. The whole
Don't put them in the
composting
bag. The bag drives me crazy.
What, the brown paper bags?
Yes, they drive me insane because you know what happens?
They
You
tip
fill it
over.
up. Well, no, I would fill it up, right? And then like it'll rain, and then like the guys won't
pick
come,
it up.
and they'll pick it up, and it just falls out the bottom, and it's like
Such a pain in the butt.
yeah, it's like comically infuriating.
It is.
You know?
It is. I hate it. I hate those bags. I hate everything. I like, that's one thing that I wish that sometimes like I go back and forth. Like if I had the money, like I'll hire somebody to like maintain the pool and maintain the grass and all that stuff. And I'm just like, there are days that I finish doing that and I'm like, this is not that bad. I can do it.
Yeah,
there's no point. There's no point in hiring for some of this.
No.
But then the professional comes and does, like the mulch.
They look good.
Normally, I would do that, but
Yeah.
this spring has just been crazy, and then I kept,
But you
going
did a good
over
job,
and
man.
over, and then they came and they did it, and I was like, "Holy crap!"
I don't do it like that.
And I used to do landscaping as
Yeah,
a,
so did I. I
in
still don't
college.
do it that well.
There's no way. Like I made a joke because we got 2 quotes, and it's funny enough, this is going a little bit like in the edge here, but like Hispanic guy, it's called Latinos Landscaping, right? Comes over, gives me a quote, $1,300. I was like, okay. Then a white guy comes over, undercuts, and says like, I'll do it for like $800-900, like something like that, depending on how much mulch you need here. And it was cheaper, but then he told me how he was gonna do it, which is just to weed whack the weeds and then throw the mulch on top of it. And I'm like, no. And then I told my wife, I was like, I don't know, I'm gonna be racist here, but I'm gonna go with the Hispanic people. It's like I have a feeling they're gonna do a better job. It's true, man. Even when I was doing landscaping, like there's people, and this is coming from a Latino himself, right? Like, there's people who do that professionally, do that all the time. That's just gonna put in the work, and they're gonna because they get pride over their work. It's
Agreed.
not just
Agreed.
not just a job. It's not something which I don't think a lot of other cultures have that over manual labor. You know, and I could be wrong. There could be people out there, but there is something about it with landscaping and all the stuff that the people who work outside, like, they get pride. For me, when I was doing it, I mean, I've been here since I'm 10. I'm American as apple pie, good guns in the closet, and everything like that. But you know, like, you know, like I'm already more American. Like, that's it. Like, I got the culture of America here. You know, that was a job for me, so I can pay for college and get out and do something else. I didn't take pride in that, and it was like more. I got hired because I had the driver's license and they didn't. And I could drive the truck without getting towed away every 2 weeks because they got caught. Like, I mean, that's the way it was. You know, it's like, you know, like you have a driver's license, you know, like you're getting paid more. And I'm like, but they do a lot more work than I do. It's like, no. You're more valuable here. I was like, holy crap.
And you know what's cool? Like, I grew up too doing landscaping, and like, because I was from the city, like, I knew the Jersey Shore, but I didn't really have a concept of what suburbs meant. So like, when I started landscaping, I'd be like, you cut grass in the suburbs? This is like the rich area. He was like, no, bro. He's like, there's just where the lawns are. Like, we don't have lawns in the city, or they're in, you know, the backyard in row homes. You can't get to them. Like, you have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
But it was like, you know, just like far northeast Philly, and I was like, oh, this is like great. And then like we started to like come closer up to Bucks County. That's where I was like, whoa, like a quarter acre of land is like a big deal, you know. But I never took pride in it either. It was a very hard job.
It is
Pushing the mower.
I have all the respect.
Hedges all day. It was very, very difficult.
I have all the respect for people who are working outside, like manual labor. Like, there's going to come a time where, you know, we thought that everything gonna get robots for it and all that stuff, and some things are like the whole McDonald's. You know, you go and then there's two people in there, and everything else is a freaking robot taking your order and everything else. But like, really, it's like our jobs is the one that's gonna get automated more, but somebody has to maintain it. You know, so I think that the human aspect of our job is definitely gonna be more. You know, like we're definitely needed for the long run, because somebody has to program those things to automate more and more.
Analyze.
But however, the demand on the people is going to become a lot less, because there's going to be less people maintaining these automations.
That's why we're in good shape.
Yeah.
We have a lot of experience behind
it coming in versus
right?
the people who are just starting. Yeah.
So it's the people who can make it, the people who can write the code to make the models, right? And then there's analyzing it, right?
But
like
the people who do the manual labor, coming back to my point, like there's gonna be more and more demand. Like now there's like all these jokes of like the UPS worker making $150,000. Like there was one video I saw. It was the guy pulling up in a Lamborghini Urus, like the SUV. Yeah. And it was like, you know, like, here's your box, man. And it's like, what? You know, like is that Dior that you're wearing? Like, is that? And he's like, man, I don't got time for that. He's like, you parked on my grass. He's like, here's $100. Like,
quiet, I'm out of here,
man. Don't you know how much we make now?
I always see jokes in the comments on YouTube when I watch AI videos that they're like, that'll be like a plumber. He'll be like, I'm a plumber. I think I'm okay. Those jobs won't go away. They won't. They won't. And nothing is sufficiently that advanced yet to have it go away.
They're going to be, seriously, there was I forget the statistic here, but like basically for every, you know, 5 person retiring in construction, there's 1 person coming in. Mm-hmm. So like less and less people are choosing the manual work. Yeah. And they're going to be needed more and more. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, ridiculous. Like, it's scary to think, all the work that is missing out there, the people that are really needing.
Yeah,
and it's going to be paid more and more because the demand is going to be higher.
And the barrier to entry is not as high as it once was, right? So you can get into construction or a more laborious job role pretty quickly. You can get a mentor, you can get trained up pretty quickly, right, to get in.
Mike Rowe has been preaching this for years.
Yeah.
Growing up, I'm sure you too, right? Like, you were watching like Dirty Jobs on Discovery Channel, and like, he's been preaching this for years. That labor work is where it's at. Obviously, I didn't listen.
Yeah, I didn't want to do anything. Also, too, like, so I see, like, I have friends that are plumbers that work, like 12 hours a day. That's not healthy. It's not healthy for anyone to work 12 hours a day. But it happens a lot, like, and that's one of the reasons why there's so many hours now to be had, like, for plumbers and all. Like, they're just so, like, also too, like, everything's always on fire when you're a plumber, right? If water's leaking and it's in a home or a business or on a street, it's a problem that needs to get solved right away. Yeah. And it's never like, oh, we're gonna silver plate these pipes in this really nice apartment because you don't hear too much of that. It's always like, oh, this is on fire. It needs to happen now.
I had, it was like the beginning of summer one time. I had air conditioner go out. And called a guy. Yeah. And it was like, we're sweating. We live on the 3rd floor. So all the heat of everybody else is just like kind of like, it's crazy. So he comes over. First thing he tells me is, why didn't you check, before or whatever, now I'm so busy, like I barely have time to do this. I'm like, who the F?
Who are you?
Checks their air conditioner in winter to prepare for summer or something like that. I didn't know that this was going to happen. I did not some kind of psychic here. Like, how are you going to tell me, why didn't you check? Like, do people do that? Yeah. No, not me. I have a schedule. Yeah, I have a schedule on maintenance stuff around the house. But other than that, like, I don't go checking if something's going to work before I use it.
It's just work.
Yeah.
I open up that laptop and it works every day.
Yeah.
Why doesn't that other stuff work?
Yeah. No, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I also too have a schedule too. I actually have to go replace the filters and all in my HVAC, and that brings up another point. I will never ever in my next house. I do not want HVAC systems. I don't want it. No, I hate them. They're super expensive. Think about it. So I grew up with window air and radiators. Radiator heat is the best heat because it's radiant, right? It's just hot water. That's all it is. So I'd rather have that and then window air conditioners, because HVAC systems now, when you have to replace one eventually, you'll see this, they're $12,000 to $15,000.
Yeah.
They break every year or need to be maintenance for $500 a year, right? And then they only last 10 years. Then at 10 years, they really start breaking, and that's when it starts costing $900 to $1,000 to fix stuff, right?
Yeah.
So if it costs me like $300 to $500 per year, plus after 10 years it's going to cost me about $1,000 a year to fix it, why wouldn't I just go to Walmart and buy a window air conditioner when it breaks and throw it away? All for the convenience of having it everywhere at once. I can live without it.
I don't agree.
You like your HVAC?
I like central air.
So
I have apps on my phone, and I can tell it like, don't cool this side of the house because we're not there during the day. Only cool this side.
That's fancy. I don't have
like,
that, man.
Yeah, we got 2 zones. So
and I have 2 units, and I got one, and it was like it went down, and I was
there's
like,
schedules for everything. It's like it's efficient. It keeps the house at one temperature, so it doesn't have to work hard. To get up there. And I just maintain it. replace the
maybe I
filter,
just
clean stuff. You know,
maybe I have a really bad experience
Yeah.
with HVAC. Like, I need like a better unit. I just when I put the addition onto my house and I had to have a separate unit, that's when I was like, I didn't really think that through. Like that was a lot of
Yeah.
extra electricity. It was a lot of and it wasn't zoned prop. Like the zones aren't right. Like one's upstairs, one's downstairs. But they all match up, and it doesn't blow air correctly.
when we first got to this house, and I was like, this is weird. Like one side of the house is like on one zone, and the other side of the house is on another zone, versus the upstairs and downstairs,
Yeah.
which is normally the case.
Yeah.
I think. I think that would have been like a lot more, but now I'm grateful because my office is upstairs, my wife's office is downstairs, and they're both on that one side of the house. So it's easier to say, okay, we leave the bedroom at 8 a.m., like tops, and so therefore no need to cool this side of the house or heat this side of the house, the bedroom and the downstairs living room, and only cool this side of the house during those times.
Yeah,
That's
that,
kinda
that is
convenient.
that is better because I'm kind of like you could go downstairs and sweat like I'm because that's the zone. Like everybody's upstairs and office is working from home,
Yeah,
right? So if someone's down there, it's
yeah.
like go back upstairs then.
But the whole upstairs downstairs thing is like, well, it would be nice to have like at the time of sleeping time or whatever,
Yeah.
not cool the downstairs and all that stuff. But
That's
either way,
Either way, I'm thankful for it and grateful for it. I just would prefer simple.
a
Like
buddy of mine is doing a bunch of mini splits.
I
in his
like
house.
those. I was considering mini splits because they're real simple and straightforward, right?
They
It's
are.
hook it up to an electrical source, cut a hole in the wall, and hang it, right? Level it outside, let the fan spin, right? And it's I like those. I see them going up. People putting them in everywhere.
Yeah, it's cool. I think like he can have like 2 units go into one. What do you call those?
Yeah, one outside
Yeah.
unit, one outside blower, right? Will
Yeah.
spin and work, and then 2 wall units. You can have 3 zone too.
Yeah,
You have 3, and it's a different idea on because you really don't need like I look at all like the vents we have around the house from Asia.
Yeah.
You don't need all those vents, especially when you get into like a power room, right? Like why are you gonna have one dedicated run to there? Like just cool the zone, and like some rooms, like it might be warmer or cooler, but that's fine.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. That's why the idea of those
Wall units.
Yeah, I'm thinking of doing one downstairs because my down. I don't think I'm gonna replace the condenser again. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm gonna do those. I get like 3 zones. I'm gonna split it. Be done.
The problem he's having now is trying to find somebody to do it. So
Everybody's putting them in too. It's just busy.
he's like, Home Depot wanted to charge him $5,000 for one.
No.
He's like, no.
they're like
He's like, the unit
2,800.
costs like $1,200. Like, there's no way I'm spending $5,000 to install it.
Yeah. You do it yourself. It's just you got to be committed to doing it. Like I already have the service running in my crawl space, so like I have 225 lines like running
Yeah.
everywhere. Easy for me to kill the power, splice off it, and use it. Or run a dedicated. It's not that big of a deal for me, but
It's not. But the thing that we've been doing now, like, especially in this house, it's like, I'm not going to do any electrical work. I'm going to hire it out. Mm-hmm. I'm going to pull a permit every time and all this stuff and keep a good log. Because it's just,
yeah, they will mess with you.
they will mess with you.
So when I had my
if
addition
you try to
done,
sell.
this dude came around to inspect it, right? And he basically went out to the framing, got on a ladder. Real nice guy, old guy. Real nice guy. Came up and he was like, I saw him out there with a pencil, and it looked like he was counting. And I was like, what's he counting out there? Right. So he comes back in and he's like, they missed a couple of nails. I was like, what? He's like, there's only 800 nails in the frame. I'm like, you counted them? He was like, yup, I counted them. It's my job to count the nails and make sure that it doesn't fall down. I was like, all right. I was like, wow, you guys count the nails. And that was like one of the thing. Then there was like a thing anytime anything was done, and our neighborhood we live in, it's like, you know, a permit and it has to be signed off and inspected. They even did this crazy zone test in my house where like they closed all the windows and did like a
Oh yeah, the put the
Yeah.
big fan by the door and
like,
close off the
what's this
door.
funny thing going on in here today?
And tell you
Like,
the CFN, like basically how much
Yeah.
you know air does it leak out.
yeah,
It's crazy.
It is.
We did that.
yeah.
Like Pico charges like $25 or whatever.
Yeah.
They'll come to your house
I did that too.
and
They offered it.
do that and do everything and then tell you everything that's wrong with your house, and then like even give you a whole bunch of LED light bulbs and all this stuff, so it's worth it.
Yep. They did that for me, and then they also, because they subsidized me putting in more insulation into the
Yeah.
attic. They were like, "Here's this, you know, here's like 20% of the cost," and I
Yeah.
bought a whole bunch and
Yeah.
dumped it because the foam insulation is really easy to put in.
Yeah,
It came in a bag. I just like, dumped it out.
yeah,
I was like, done.
yeah. They'll come out and do that. That's pretty useful.
Yeah.
Because but then you're like, oh man, this sucks. Like we had the other house and it was like horrible. But the other house had a whole house found, and it was amazing.
I have
We
one.
talked about that before.
Yeah, I have one. They're awesome.
It's amazing.
They are awesome, man. They're no joke. Awesome.
Yeah. I would like open like one little window and then just let that, and it will be freezing in the morning. Like
I know, it's awesome.
it's like you don't even need the air; you just need
Yeah.
that thing. Like, and it's amazing.
Yeah, when I would walk through the hallway, I would feel like it was gonna like suck me into it.
Yeah.
Like it's like the death fan above me.
Yeah.
That's another thing we haven't covered. We could probably cover it in another session, but robot lawnmowers,
Robot lawnmowers,
death bots.
death bots.
That's what they are. Potentially rogue, spinning blades. Like, why would you have those?
Yeah, I've seen them for like little houses and all this stuff. It's pretty cool. But,
Yeah, until they disobey the rules and they run over someone's foot.
that's not gonna happen.
Okay, yeah. Call me crazy. The first time technology didn't behave properly, is going to be an issue.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the whole AI and like becoming sentient and all that stuff. It's like, nah, that's not. I'm not on that camp.
No, what I'm saying is that because it's based off sensors that deal in the spectrum of light, it has the potential to run over my feet and disobey.
Why are you your feet?
Because I don't trust that I'm going to
There.
follow it about throughout the lawn. Like, that's what I want to do. I'd want to have like remote control, right? And then just, drive it essentially, but from like my office air conditioned window, Okay. What are you doing with my feet? I'm cutting the grass.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be a thing.
I would very much like if it was a drone as well. So this way I could just like lower it in from elsewhere. That would be fancy. Lower my
There you
lawnmower
go.
into the grass.
Going 100
right?
again, where you shouldn't.
Lower it in and then just drive it about. Then I could put the American flags and I could just have the microphone and I could talk to people from it. The neighbors go, hey, how you doing, Jim and Bob? How you guys doing today? Like, where are you at?
Your
Like,
neighbor doesn't like you as it is.
Yeah,
You're gonna
it's
do
true.
more stuff for them not to like you,
that's
and you
kinda-
haven't even done anything yet.
That's the point, right? The point is, let's see where this goes, man. Let's see how uncomfortable we can make this scenario. Because I'm in there for the long game. Like, I like those moments. I learn things about myself. I'm comfortable with being uncomfortable. Most others are not.
Comfortable. Somebody's been reading a lot of Goggins lately.
It's not just that too. He comes up on my feed every day. Every day I'm like, I don't feel like doing it. He's up there like, let me tell you something. Climbing this mountain today. And I'm like, whoa.
Goggins is awesome.
Yeah.
He's a very cool individual.
Source of motivation for me.
It is.
Man. Yeah.
But
Within
today
reason.
I needed to sleep in.
So I did. I guess if you call, 7:30, sleep it in.
No, literally like 9:30 I woke up.
Yeah.
When I texted you, that's when I was waking up.
Oh man. Okay.
Like I was
waiting
like,
to hear. You know what? My spidey sense went off last night, and I was like, oh, should I text Jose? Like, see, I was like, it's Friday. He's gonna be tired as I am. We had a long week at work. There's a lot of stuff going on right now at work, but I was like, oh, then I must wait. I was like, nah. And then this morning I was like, I want to wait till like at least 10ish.
Every day I wake up 6 a.m. and all that, and it's completely fine. But there are some days where I just like, nope. Like my body's just like, we're shutting down. you don't have a say in it.
It happens to me. So I have
Yeah.
a day where I'm just like, nope, not today.
Yeah.
And obviously, like my wife will, she'll be like, listen, you're always telling me to listen to like my body. Like, why don't you like just take a day off? I was like, I gotta cut the grass. She's like, I got news for you. That grass is gonna grow after you cut it. And I was like, you're right, the damn grass.
I've been better about listening to my body. I've been trying to go like
to.
physical therapy and actually try to like watch myself and not
Self-care, man.
self-care,
Spice
because
of
I'm just like I'm done the age where it's like you can have an injury and keep going, because although I still do it, but a lot less, where I'm actually conscious over, like my shoulder hurts. I'm not gonna be doing
right, like we did
225 benching.
Right, I was like, oh, let's
like
try some over the head stuff, and it hurt just with the bar, and I was like, nope, I'm not gonna do it.
Yep.
Let's not be ridiculous. You're
No,
kind of
see, this is where we because you're like, I'm like, all right, let's do overhead, and I put in 135's starting point,
yeah.
and right away you're like, that's a lot, and I'm like, what are you talking about? That's the starting point. You're like, no, let's start with the bar first. And even the bar, it hurt for you, and you were like, nope, I'm not doing this. And I'm like, throw some 25s on there. Let's start going there. But like, I was like, yeah, he's right. But that's the thing though. I'm just like, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I get hurt even more than I was before, because I don't listen sometimes. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to. So when you said that was a lot, I'm like, you're probably right. I should probably listen.
The only reason I said that is because my shoulder hurt. If we're both healthy, those thoughts aren't going to come. I'm just going to be like, yo, load the bar up. Like, yeah, let's start off at 135. And yes, you know what? Matter of fact, put on some heavy metal and add more weight onto the bar.
Yeah, because last week we did a whole lot of squats and different things, and I was hurting until like Tuesdays and Wednesdays, which is not good.
Yeah, that's so.
So this week I'm like, all right, we're still gonna go hard. We're still gonna do a lot of stuff, but we're not gonna overload one muscle.
Right.
And so I'm trying to like dial it back to a point where it's reasonable, but at the same time, work hard, and not stop working hard.
Agreed.
So I think that's good. That's a good thing to stick to.
It is a good thing to stick to it. And that's what I did. When you said the word superset today, I was like, wait, where's the weight? 5 sets each. Don't quit. Don't stop until you can't do any more.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I think of it. I don't think of it as like mixing up band training with weightlifting, right? Like that was really interesting to me. Like that wasn't the first thought in my head.
Yeah, superset is just taking 2 exercises and doing back to back.
Yep.
Without a break.
Yep.
Right? So your break on that other muscle is your work on the other muscle.
Yeah.
And it's just going back and forth.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. I do that sometimes in the gym. During the week, I'll do like my bis and tris that way. They're obvious ones to superset against. But I see other guys doing their shoulders and chest. They'll superset stuff like that too.
Yeah. You can do it all kinds of ways.
Yeah, man. There's endless ways to work out.
That's what I'm trying to bring variety here, so we're not bored of it.
I'll never get bored of it. Like, it's just good for our brain, and
it is good.
It is. It's.
I did not want to work out today. I tell you,
yeah.
When you said like I'm gonna come over later, like 11 and all this stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm just liking the message. I'm like, I'm gonna hate it. But as soon as we started, I'm like,
you feel good. Right?
Feel good.
Yeah.
But to tell you the truth, I'm just like, I was done. I'm like, I hate myself. I was depressed. I was like, nah, this week sucked. I didn't do good with my diet. I didn't do good with my workout. My shoulder hurt. Went to jiu-jitsu a bunch of time and hurt it even more. And it's just like, I was just like very depressed. And I'm glad you came. I'm glad you got me off my ass to work out today. Thank you, buddy.
Do, man. You're welcome, man. That's what we do. It's just we have that contract right on the weekends where we know there's going to be 2 hours that happen, and within those 2 hours, there's going to be exercise, which is going to be good, healthy, and happy, and then we're going to get to do the podcast right afterwards.
Wait until I get the sauna and the cold plunge.
Podcast live from the sauna.
From the cold plunge.
From the cold plunge, yeah. We're going on the road to the cold plunge.
In the winter, or like when we first open the pool, like I'll just jump into the pool and make that my cold plunge. But I want a dedicated cold plunge.
This is what I'm saying. You have that pool in the back. That's kind of like the cold plunge, right?
It is a little bit. Right now with the summer, it's like 60.
Nice.
It's cool. Like it's not cold.
I've never done cold
Never
plunge.
done cold plunge?
I've never done it. Except jumping in a cold pool, but that doesn't count. Like, I haven't done it with ice.
I got to take you to the spa. There's a spa down the street, and they have all kinds of saunas. Mm-hmm. They have a cold plunge. Mm-hmm. They have a pool, hot tub. They have a restaurant on site. You can just go there, pay $50, and stay there for like 2-3 hours or whatever. I think
do all those things?
Yeah. So what we do is we go into a sauna, cold plunge, different sauna, cold plunge, sauna, cold plunge, and just back and forth, and maybe even have lunch or dinner or whatever, or just go home. They have a cold room, so you can just go and sit in the cold room for a little bit. Mm-hmm. They have like cold showers kind of thing too. They have steam rooms. They have everything.
I'm in. I want to go.
It's a great recovery day.
I need it. You send me the link.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it.
Definitely going to be there.
It
looks awesome.
No, it is great.
Yeah, I'm all about it because I could use those types of recovery. I think I need them.
Would your wife be down?
Probably, yeah.
Because get my wife, your wife, and we'll all just go.
Yeah, man.
Because it's a great time. It's worth it. It's a $50. You go. They give you towels, rope, everything. And you just go, and if you want to get the bay leaves and smack yourself, like it's all Russians. All Russians. While you're doing the sauna thing. Like,
That's
you ever
awesome.
seen that? No,
I haven't seen it.
Oh, man, it's great. You're going to love it.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's a great recovery day.
That is cool. Now I'm interested because I've never done anything like that.
It's amazing. Really amazing. Do it, especially like cold plunge. I mean, my wife will like dip and get out. Mm-hmm. And that's enough for her. Like, but do 3 minutes of cold plunge.
Yeah, that's a lot of time.
Just sit there and just do 3 minutes and just breathe.
Yeah.
And then just jump into the right afterwards into the sauna. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. Yeah. Do like 10 minutes of sauna, 3 minutes of cold plunge, 10 minutes sauna, 3 minutes. Just go back and forth.
Damn.
It's a great. You really like after that. You are just zen. Your body is just like really like. It's almost like you did a whole workout for 2 hours, where you can't think about anything. Your body's just like on autopilot, and
I've heard that. I've heard that the benefit of the cold plunge isn't necessarily like for inflammation or your muscles. It's more for your mind. Like it activates your brain in a way that you normally wouldn't have it activated in. Like it has a lot of healthy benefits.
It does.
Yeah.
And when it's cold outside and I get to jump into the pool for 3 minutes in the morning, clean the pool and do that, it's amazing. Like I'll just do that in the morning. But like going to these places, it's amazing because it's regulated, right? The water is always at 34 degrees.
34 degrees, wow.
Yeah. Let's see how long you last.
Oh, it'll be 30 seconds the first time in there. I'm like, this is stupid. Why am I doing this? It doesn't make any sense.
It's going to be fun.
Like, give me the sauna again.
Sauna's cool too, man.
Yeah.
A lot of sauna is good for you too.
Cold, hot is cold and hot.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. do cold first before the sauna.
Oh yeah.
So then you're like really, really like, because coming out of the sauna is so much easier to go into the cold water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, it's a little cold out here.
Yeah. No, it trust me, it's cold.
Yeah.
It's really, really cold. Like you don't want to move because as soon as you start moving and the water starts going through your thing, it's like, oh, it gets colder. Just I'm shivering just thinking about it. All right, man. Let's wrap this up.
Let's wrap it up, man. Good week.